What's up, everybody? Justin here. I'm back. I hope everybody had a good holiday season and Happy New Year and all that shit. I did, I guess. So I hope you liked my year-end video, my best of the year stuff. Of course, at the end of after I made that video, I've thought of several things that I liked this year. Number one being this solo record by a guy named Benjamin Todd. Benjamin Todd is a kind of singer-songwriter, troubadour, train hopper. He's one half of a band called the Lost Dog Street Band. It's him and his wife. He plays guitar, she plays the fiddle. I'm not crazy about Lost Dog, but Benjamin Todd put out a solo record this year, or last year in 2018, that is fucking phenomenal. It's just him and a guitar, and I've probably listened to it more. I listened to it several months ago a little bit, and I really liked it, but I didn't go back to it. But in the past week, I got reacquainted with it, and I've listened to it more in the past week than I probably listened to anything else all of 2018. It's just a beautiful, just somber, kind of sad, morose, forlorn sounding, country singer-songwriter record. It's really genuine sounding. Anyway, I'm going to link it below. Check it out if you like that kind of stuff. Anyway, I've got a new stuff update. I'm going to get back into the CD collection next. And everybody, you've guessed, it's Iron Maiden is up next. And I'm not ready to delve into an entire Iron Maiden video tonight. So I'm going to talk about the stack of new stuff I got over the holidays. First, we're listening to Hypocrisy, Osculum Sinum. This is also, I just got this. So I mentioned a couple videos ago, I've been listening to a lot of older death metal. Hypocrisy is one of the bands that I've kind of gotten reacquainted with. I was never a Hypocrisy fan. When I first really got into underground death metal about 20 years ago, Hypocrisy was already kind of queer by that point. And I just ignored them. But I remember years and years ago, I was at Wayne's house. And Wayne, who me and Ben talk about in every video, when I first met Wayne, he probably owned 5,000 CDs. And if there was an old death metal CD, he had it. He spent the 90s just buying everything that came out. So one time when Father Befoul was at his house, we were recording the Morbid Destitution of Covenant record. I sat down and ripped like 100 CDs to my computer. And I ripped the first two Hypocrisy records. And I listened to them a little bit, and I moved on. But something made me think about Hypocrisy recently, so I pulled up those two records and just really, really, really enjoyed them. So I bought this, and I bought Penetralia, and Penetralia has not come in yet. But I'm a little perturbed. If you know how Discogs works, every version of everything is in Discogs. And if you're going to sell something, you look through the versions, and you assign whatever version you're selling to what it is. So someone had assigned this as the whatever original tape cassette version it was, and the stock photos are in there of that release, and front, back, cover, everything. So I thought I was getting an early tape release, but what I got is this really shitty like Russian release or something. It's on super thin paper, and the printing is really, really, really dark. It's not the one I thought I was getting. It's Apostrophe Records, Hobgoblin Records, licensed from Nuclear Blast. And this one came out in '97. So, I mean, it's over 20 years old, and all this is in Russian. So I'm a little perturbed that it's not the legit, Nuclear Blast tape that I thought I was getting. But it sounds great, so it was dubbed decently. Anyway, that's what we're listening to. That's what I just got in. That's the only tape I've gotten recently. CDs, Ben will be proud. Battles in the North, Immortal. I've talked about Immortal recently. I really, really like Immortal. I only kind of like the early stuff. Pure Holocaust, in fact, is the main one that it's my favorite Immortal record. Ben said I'm a poser if I don't buy Battles in the North. So I got it. I have not put it on yet. Of course, I've listened to it online plenty of times in the past. And Battles in the North, to me, is kind of like Immortal with a death metal production. It's a lot thicker than Pure Holocaust or Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. But it's an essential black metal record if you were into black metal at all. This is the Osmos version, and I don't know what actual version it is, but it seems legit. So, Battles in the North. Then, speaking of CDs, I said I haven't listened to that yet. I bought a new car about 3 or 4 months ago, and not until I got home with it the next day, I realized it doesn't have a fucking CD player. Apparently, it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and Jeep stopped putting CD players in vehicles in 2014. So I have a 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It doesn't have a fucking CD player in it. If I wanted to add one, I'd have to buy an aftermarket one that fits in the under the dash, and it's several $100s. What I may do is just replace the entire touchscreen thing in the console with something aftermarket. But so for now, I can't listen to CDs in my car, which is the way I listen to CDs 99% of the time. So it has the capability to put an SD card in it, which is cool because you can dump hundreds of albums on an SD card. And I've done that. And I Bluetooth stuff to my car a lot from my phone. But I'm an old school CD purist. I want to listen to fucking CDs in my car. Anyway. I'll update you if that ever changes. So next is Krumholz. Krumholz. Krumholz is a black metal band from Central Africa. Fucking the two members live in Ghana and Uganda, but the drummer is actually from my town. He's from here in Georgia, south of Atlanta, but he works in Africa. He's I believe Billy's a social worker. But they are very proudly an African black metal band. And Victor, the guitarist singer, he's Ugandan, and then Baile is of Indian descent, I think. But this is really, really killer, foresty, foggy black metal. There's 2 songs on here: A Morning in the Autumn Forest and to Father Worlds in the Bones of Ancient Solitude. If you don't know what this sounds like by looking at it and reading those song titles, you probably don't know this kind of black metal. But it's kind of in that vein of Drook and just dreamy kind of, despondent black metal. 2 really long songs. But it's really, really good. This is they've done a cassette and a CD. They self-released a cassette, and the CD came out on Nocturmocht Productions. And I did the layout for this, so if you like the way that looks and you want your band to look this awesome, hit me up. So go check them out. I'll link it below. Krumholz, they're fucking great. Good dudes. Then I got a package from my buddy Jason at Malignant Records. I've mentioned Malignant in several videos. Malignant is a power electronics, death industrial, ambient label. Jason is also behind, and Malignant's been around for 25 years, but he's also behind a brand new death metal label called Rotted Life Productions, and he's going to be doing big things. He's already got a bunch of bands on board, and he's released several tapes so far, and everything's really nice. But Malignant has been around for a while, and he sent me a care package the other day. I have not opened these yet, but I got 3 CDs. The first one is a split between Wet Nurse and 10,000 Miles of Arteries. And it's all three of these are digipacks. And this one has a really awesome looking, like, Xerox looking layout, which I'm a fucking huge sucker for. I can't wait to listen to this stuff. And I know these band names, but I'm not familiar with the bands or the acts, the projects. But I know that they're power electronics, noisy, you know, industrial type stuff. Second is the third full length from Abjection Ritual. This is Soul of Ruin, Body of Filth. Another digipack. And I can't wait to listen to this. Doom/Death Industrial Project. 6 tracks of caustic sludge and visceral atmospherics. Yes. And then this is Stromstad with New Devoted Human. And I'm sure it's more just nasty, sludgy, industrial stuff, and I can't wait to listen to it. Funny story is Jason sent me that package like, I don't know, 4 months ago. And he sent it to my old address. I moved about 2.5 years ago, and he sent it to my old address. And I was tracking it, and it got delivered. So I went to my old house and knocked on the door, and nobody came to the door, and the package wasn't there. I was like, fuck it, I guess it's gone. And 4 months later, he emails me, and he's like, that package showed back up. They must have rejected it and sent it back. So he sent it to me, and I got it a couple days later. So this was also in there. Offer Beast with Africa. And this is in a baggie. And it's got a fold out, like, it's a 4-page booklet type deal here. All cut paste, which I'm a sucker for. Looks fucking nasty. And the CD is in a cardboard slip sleeve. It appears to be a full-length album. I cannot wait to check out whatever Offer Beast sounds like. So, and the, sorry, I was distracted by the horrible fucking Venom cover that Hypocrisy's doing right now. This kind of stuff, I've got to put it on when it's dark and late and I'm on the computer or I'm doing something and it's in the background. You can't drive around and listen to this kind of stuff in the car. You can't listen to it when you're trying to do something. It's definitely some kind of, it's background music that you sink into. So, okay. The rest of these are records. First up, The King, Conspiracy. This is my favorite King Diamond album. I've been a King Diamond fan for years and years and years, but I was always pretty ignorant. I knew Abigail, and that was the only one I listened to for years. And then I got into Fatal Portrait, and I listened to them, and I listened to Conspiracy, and Conspiracy is the one that really, 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 really clicked with me, and it's my go-to. And I've slowly been trying to buy King Diamond records. And I picked this up on Discogs recently for just, next to nothing. And comes with the printed inner sleeve. This is the original press. Black vinyl, Roadrunner Records. I got this for like $12 or something. And I need to put it in a plastic baggie. I don't have one, a sleeve. But I fucking love this record, man. Fucking At the Graves, Sleepless Nights. It fucking rules. I love this fucking album. So, then I've got the debut from Nusrat with The Creeping Unknown. I did the artwork for this. So, I created the art. I drew their logo. Originally, Nusrat hit me up asking me to draw their logo. So, I drew their logo. And then it turned into, can you make artwork for us? And I did the art on this. It was a tape originally on Sentient Ruin. Sentient Ruin also released this. The back. It's just 4 songs to demo. Nusrat is members of Skeleton Witch and Gatecreeper and Hive. And the 3 dudes that are in this band are in several bands. There's got the credits, and I did that Grim Reaper artwork as well. And there's the back, just a picture of a cave, the Creeping Unknown. But this is good, like, sludgy death metal. It's kind of in that new, I call it 20-buck spin death metal. Even though this didn't come out on 20-buck spin, but you know what I'm saying. Those bands are getting really popular, like A Feather and Bone and Tomb Mold and Ulfar, and I grouped them in with that a little bit, but good dudes. I met the drummer. The drummer of this is the drummer in Gatecreeper, and hung out with those dudes. They played here in town one night. But anyway, it's good. It sold out very quickly. I think that they're on to big things, but this is a good fucking heavy-handed, kind of nasty-sounding sludgy death metal EP. Then I got just super like into cold, nasty, rainy black metal. I got on a cold, nasty, rainy black metal kick back last month, November, somewhere in there. And all I listened to was like Gorgoroth and Burzum and just cold black and white black metal. But I went back and I had not heard Antichrist in years. When I got into Gorgoroth, Incipit Satan was the new release, so I bought that. And I've always liked Incipit Satan. And I know some old school Gorgoroth purists, they don't like the Gaul era at all. And to me, I always associated Gorgoroth with Gaul, unaware that he was the third vocalist of the band. And when I was into like, the next one I bought was Destroyer. And I really like Destroyer. They sound like 2 completely different bands. But when I listened to Antichrist and Pentagram, back then I was like, it's not the same as the Gorgoroth I learned to like. But then I never really cared for Gorgoroth past those 2 records. So I went back and I downloaded, or I didn't download them, I had them on a hard drive from years and years ago. And I listened to Antichrist and Pentagram and Under the Sign of Hell, which I really like Under the Sign of Hell. But all 3 of those records sound like different bands. They sound like different black metal bands. But Antichrist is the one that immediately fucking struck a chord with me. And I've listened to this record so much in the past month. And I immediately was like, I have to own a copy. So I got on and I bought this directly from Soul Cellar. It was like $15. It got re-released a couple years ago. And red vinyl. This is the original cover of Antichrist. And then it's been re-released several times over the past 20 years with an alternate cover that looks really fucking dumb. It's this overly stylized, like, dirty-looking cover. But then Soul Cellar reissued it, like, last year or something with the original cover again. It looks fucking sick. I don't know if there's an insert. No, there's no insert. But, this record is just, like, it's cold and melodic and grim, but it's musical. It's not just static. It's not just, you know, violent. It's not the way, I feel like Under the Sign of Hell is real, just in your face and violent sounding. And there's some melody and some mysticism to Antichrist. And the song Gorgoroth, their eponymous track, man, that's my favorite Gorgoroth song. It is so fucking good. So then I bought some stuff from Nuclear War Now, which I haven't done in a really, really long time. And I didn't, he was having a sale. So I didn't go to buy anything in particular, but I came across a few records. The first one caught my eye was this. This is Pa Vesh In with Church of Bones. I had never even heard of this, but the cover intrigued me. It looked like this cool, like, you know, black and white, grim, Xerox looking cover. Up close, it's kind of like a photoshopped version of that, which irritates me from a design standpoint. But Pavesh In, this came out on Iron Bonehead, and it is that grim, really staticky, nasty style of black metal. There's the gatefold, like Black Silice and Candelabrum and those Portuguese bands. I believe this project is American, but it's a little more musical in those bands. You can really hear the melody and the riffs a lot more. And I just listened to a sample and bought it. But I really liked it. So I'm looking forward to putting it on and spinning it some more. I like that poster of just the dude in the band from the cover with no logo or anything. That's pretty rad looking. I'm not going to hang it up, but I think it looks rad. So that's Pavesh In with Church of Bones. If you like Black Silice and that kind of stuff, you'll probably really, really like this. Especially if you think that stuff is a little too, like, you know, wild sounding. So then, I was just about done looking on Nuclear War Now, and I came across this. Mörkvid with Part 3. So I discovered Mörkvid just earlier this year. Somebody mentioned them on the Nuclear War Now forum, and I went and checked them out. They have 3 albums, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, German black metal, and this shit is so fucking good. It is just, kind of sounds like Moonblood. It's real riffy, but there's a lot of melody to it, but it's obscure and cacophonous sounding, and it sounds the way it looks, and I don't know how to explain that, how to put that. I mean, it's just, it's one of those bands that I'm amazed that like more people didn't know about them, because musically, sonically, man, it's right there with some of the really popular bands from that era. They're mid to late 90s to mid 2000s. Part 3 came out not that long ago, 2013. But this is number 210 of 300. You can't see it. There it is. 210 of 300. It's a solo project. This is just black vinyl, I believe. Yep. Mörkvid. Part 1 and Part 2 are a little harder to come by. You're not going to find them in a distro. But they're 30, 40 bucks, something like that. But Part 3 is the most recent one. It's still floating around in distros. But I'm going to link this below, man. I love this shit so much. So then, one of the main reasons I bought some stuff from Nuclear War Now was I saw these 2 Iron Maiden bootlegs. These are 2 live bootlegs, the Assassin and the Fugitive. And so let's see here. This one has got, this is covers. The first side of this is covers. And then the second side is some live B-sides, all Bruce Dickinson era. Recorded in 92. All of it was recorded in 92. And it's all stuff that's been released on other releases. Like, all these covers came off of the 7-inch singles they did in the 80s. All of those B-sides always had covers on them. But this is a good just compilation of all that stuff in one place. And these are done really, really well. They're high-quality jackets. They're not flimsy. This one is on red vinyl. It's almost orange looking. But really killer, really well done Iron Maiden boots. And if you're an Iron Maiden nerd like me, essential. I haven't listened to this yet, but I can't wait to check it out. Creato Records. Some fake bootleg label. And then the Fugitive. This one, I like that artwork. Almost looks like a hologram, but it's not. It almost looks like it's a picture of a hologram. This one is live. live from the 92, 1990, and then live from 93. Looks like it's all one tour. Finland, Russia, Finland, Germany, Finland. So, like I said, it's all stuff that's been on other releases, but it's just all in one place now. Cool, clear, yellow vinyl. These are really, really well done releases. I haven't listened to them yet. I just got them, so I cannot wait to check that out. So, these may still be floating around if you are an Iron Maiden nerd. Go check them out. Especially, like, man, there are some Iron Maiden bootlegs that are hundreds of dollars. But those are relatively new and cheap. So, real quick, one cool thing. I did my integrity video last month, and it got a lot of traction. People really liked it. And I mentioned that Dwid saw it and hit me up, and he really enjoyed it. He thought it was really meaningful and thoughtful to talk about the band for half an hour. So he sent me some stuff. I got some stickers from him. He sent me a really fucking awesome integrity guitar pick. And so the original LP, the 10-inch release of Humanity is the Devil, came with this little booklet, the Humanity is the Devil booklet. It's... So the end of Humanity is the Devil is a 30-minute long, noisy spoken word track. And this is the transcript of the spoken word. And he sent me one, and my original copy doesn't have this anymore, but I want to say that my repress does. I don't know. But inside, sent me a note. Justin, thank you for your friendship. All the beasts, Dwid Hellion. That's really fucking awesome. So thank you for that. Gotta find something to put all these stickers on. So that's it for this one. That's some new stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Let's talk about this shit. Next video is going to be Iron Maiden. I'm into the end of the eyes in the CD collection, so Iron Maiden is it. And I've got about 10 or 12 Iron Maiden CDs. So let's talk about this stuff in the comments. What are you listening to? What's good? And I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.